What's up, guys? Thanks for clicking on this video. Make sure to go give me a follow at Everything Edge EDC on Instagram.
What's up, everybody? Today, I'm really wanting to talk about this ZT0450 carbon fiber. This thing is absolutely stellar. Coming from a guy, generally, honestly, zero tolerance knives are not my jam. They're big, bulky, overbuilt, which I can appreciate and absolutely recognize the quality in them. Not my jam. I'm more of a mid-range, lighter, slicier knife kind of guy. So this absolutely fills that want and that need in a knife. Like I need that in an EDC knife. I really do. So this is great. I've been messing with this for the last couple days, and I'm just incredibly impressed. Great flipper action, carbon fiber on this side, titanium on the other side, black DLC coated blade. This thing runs on ball bearings, and it's absolutely loving this thing. For some specs on this thing, the overall length of this guy is coming in at 7.375 inches. The blade length is coming in at 3.25 inches with a thickness of about 0.12 of an inch. Obviously, drop point blade on this guy. Black stonewash finish. The handle length is coming in at 4.125 inches. And the overall weight of this guy is a mere 2.45 ounces, which is hard to get a measure for, obviously, for those of you watching at home, but this thing is so light, so light. It just disappears in your pocket, which is odd to say for a knife of this size, but it truly does. Let's do some size comparisons. Here we are compared to the Benchmade Bug Out. Here we are compared to the Benchmade Griptilian. And here we are compared to the Spyderco PM2. So as you can see, this, a little bit smaller than the Benchmade Griptilian, quite substantially smaller than the Spyderco PM2. This it's by no means a little knife, but it's not big either. It's very mid-size, which I can definitely appreciate. This blade shape, slicey, comes out. I love this robust tip, even though it's pretty thin blade stock. This is just a very, very well-rounded knife. There are some ugly points that I will point out. One, this is just your plain Kershaw cheap pocket clip, which I don't appreciate. I also don't appreciate that ZT has to put their logo on every single pocket clip they've ever made. Kind of unfortunate to me. Obviously, it's an exaggeration, every clip they've ever made, but I don't appreciate that. Also, this black, I don't know if it's DLC or Cerakote, whatever coating they put on this. I mean, this knife has barely been used, and it's already showing those scratching signs. And it'll sit fairly deep in your pocket, but not as deep as I would prefer. A plus about this knife, I love just a little pop of color in these back spacers. I actually really appreciate that. Not really able to be light switched. It's more of a pull down on the flipper tab, which great, that's fine with me. I do love this grind on top, this false edge that it comes to. Absolutely adds to just the overall aesthetic of this knife that is quite pleasing. I wear large size gloves, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not the most comfortable in the hand. I wish it was a little bigger. This rounding right here really really forces my index finger into that position, which is fine. But then I feel like there's just not quite enough room for my pinky on the back side. There's jimping in all the right places, and it's not the ow, blistery kind of jimping. It's grippy, but not too much so. We got jimping here for your push cuts, get your thumb running up on the back of the blade. We have nice jimping on the flipper tab, not on the bottom. So pretty minimal jimping on this thing, but everywhere that there is, it's done really well. So I can appreciate that. Another thing I can really appreciate from ZT is just the fit and finish of all of their knives are, you can tell they really care. They take the time, and I mean, this thing, absolutely rock solid. There's nowhere I can squeeze it where it flexes and bends like a traditional bug out, which I hate. I absolutely hate. Also appreciate, you can see through this whole knife. So this collects pocket lint, dust, dirt, debris, whatever. You can literally take this thing and blow, and you can clear all of that out of there. You can take an air compressor, whatever. So that makes it really nice, especially if this is going to be something that you daily carry. Another thing I can really appreciate on this is their choice of blade steel, S35 VN. It's just a great all-around steel. You guys know this stuff, but I'm a fan. I can really appreciate that. So yeah, I'm glad with that. Additionally, factory edge on this thing is amazing. This knife has been around for, oh God, probably a month now, and it is still hair whittling sharp. So really appreciate factory edge and the evenness of it too. Too many knives I've received. Like I just received this Benchmade Mini Adamas, and I don't know if you guys can pick this up, but the angles here are completely and utterly different on the edges, which I hate. I pay this much for a knife. I really want it to be perfect, and this is, as far as the blade, absolutely. Sinkovich design. All of his knives, the aesthetic for me is exactly what I'm looking for in a knife. Perfect, slicey. I will say, even with this one, and especially the larger Sinkovich knives, it does look a little black, murdery, scary. So, you know, if you're the kind of person that worries about that stuff, if you're the kind of person that's gonna be nervous to pull this out, you know, open a package at church or in the grocery store, or, you know, maybe in the company of some people who aren't as enthusiastic about knives as you, that might be a concern. But especially with this one, where it's more moderately sized, I don't think that's as much of a concern. This action is absolutely great. Drop shut action, which I love and appreciate. There is some double clutch on the lock here, which fine. You know what? I prefer to close my flipper knives this way, come up against that, bam, right up against that detent every time. So yes, it has double clutch. No, I don't care. I use that to shut my knives lots of the time. So, you know, overall, zero tolerance, everything you'd come to expect. Not quite as overbuilt as some of the other models, but absolutely made for a purpose, which it does so well. I mean, this thing will cut, slice. It's like a laser beam through any material that you're trying to cut. Great blade shape. So overall, I'm a fan. I am a big fan. Yes, the ergonomics could be a little better for my hand in particular. If you have a little bit smaller hands than mine, I wear a large size glove, might be perfect for you. It's not enough to make me like this knife much less. So great knife, beautiful knife, would highly recommend.